because that was too far away, and if it does rain, you go in there and we'll stay here and keep going. So I apparently thank you. Has anyone seen the toilets out there? Yeah, have you seen them, anyone? Yeah. Yes! I've not been here for years. What happened to those two wooden sheds round the back of the bucket? It's changed so much. Somebody, Paul asked me if I'd just say a bit about the place here and how I found it really and how we became what we are. But back in early 60s, I used to go by on the railway as a fireman on the and I just started being a band early 60s. Every village hall we ever got to rehearse in, a couple of weeks and bugger off with that noise, and we got thrown out of every village hall. And then one day coming by here I saw this tiny little tin shack and I didn't even know where it was. I had to ask somebody. It was near South Water, I said, and I drove over here. And I thought, this is perfect, there's no houses nearby. So I went in the pub, a chap was called Bill, the landlord then, Major Bill, I don't know if anyone remembers him. And he said, you've got to go and see Mrs. Parks about the key. So we got the key, and we had it as a band, and we didn't tell a soul. We used it for about 5 years for a person. 10 shillings a night, it was. A lot of money then. So that's how I found this place, but then I started going in the pub and people like Jim and Myra took over the pub. Anyone remember Jim and Myra? Yeah. Well, when I finished in a band, I tended to stay here because of the pub. People were very friendly over here. Mary and Dave over here, I see for a start. So that's that. So the pub life took off. And then one day, if you want to know what the hall means to us now, some people moved into Maplehurst and used to come in the pub, and Jim, the landlord, said to me one day, I wonder if you mind running the pub for a week. Well, he goes, on holiday. I said, yeah, all right. He said, but whatever you do, don't let that bunch of hippies up the road try and get a late drink out of you. Well, sure enough, the first night they tried it, and they did get a late drink out of me, but they weren't hippies at all, they were actors and actresses. Been on television quite a lot, but anyway, one day we were in the pub and these ideas come up. Somebody said, wouldn't it be nice to put a concert on, back to the hall now, in the village hall? So the actors and the actresses, they organised the whole thing and they got a few of us roped into it as well. And we did the very first show. Dave and Mary were there, I know. We didn't have tickets, and it was one night. And we thought, well, whoever turns up. We got just under 100 people in that hall. We had a big stage this end. We had to take about 5 rows of seats out because they kept coming through the door and we kept taking the money. So we did that show and it went down, seemed to go down well. Well, after that we did pantomimes every year, we did a show every year. Eventually we had to move to Southwater Village Hall because this place wasn't big enough. That was the press mainly due to that. A reporter came, said how much he enjoyed the show. He praised the people of Copsale and he described this place as little more than a garden shed. And I suppose to some village halls it is little more than a garden shed. That is a lot more than that. So we carried on anyway, and these shows, 1 or 2 people moved away, but we stayed together, the bulk of us, touring all over the country. If somebody had said you're going to be doing that for 35 years, I said 31 years, I said you're joking. But we had the pleasure, this village hall brought to us, it brought a few of us together, people from all over the country, and we've stayed together as friends for 35 years. We've had some sad times, tragic times, but mostly it's been really fun and happy times. Regarding these shows, we actually retired 4 years ago. We thought it's time to stop. So this is their first time for 4 years. We rehearse this afternoon, don't worry. And we still don't know it. So that's it, that's enough waffle for me really. All except to say is it's been
enough rounding off like your memories. Get out of the way, get out. Come on. The village hall 100 and to celebrate it right. There's going to be a wrestling match, it's going to be tonight. They asked us if we'd sweep the floor and make the boys some tea. We answered, you're not, mate, 'cause there's and play.